Hello, my name is Jeff Larsen. I serve as the president of the United School Employees of Pasco. Thank you for watching this video about the 24-25 contract ratification. All of the materials are available on the USEP website, and we're also emailing out all of the ratification materials as well as the summaries. But we also wanted to make this video to hopefully explain some of the process and maybe answer some of the questions that you might have. Here you can see the agenda for this short video. First, we'll provide a little bit of background information. Then we'll talk about what's in the SRP package. Then we'll talk about what's in the instructional package. And finally, we'll talk about how to vote, which is a little bit different this year than it's been in previous years. We have a legal responsibility as it relates to this ratification process. As the union, we work with the district and we negotiate the contract for all members of the bargaining units. Florida statute requires that all bargaining unit members have the opportunity to vote on the contract regardless of union membership. Some of you might be wondering, what does the bargaining process actually look like? Well, here you can see a picture that was in the Tampa Bay Times of the bargaining process. Basically what happens is the district has a bargaining team, the union has a bargaining team, the teams meet in separate rooms to caucus, to have their private conversations, then they come together in one room to negotiate back and forth. Most of the bargaining sessions take place in our office, the union hall. Some of the bargaining sessions take place at the district office. Here's a couple of terms that I want you to be familiar with. We've got contract language and we have MOUs. Contract language is exactly what it sounds like. It's the language in a contract. An MOU is a memorandum of understanding. It's also contract language, but the difference is that an MOU has a specific lifespan to it. Often an MOU is a one-year agreement, and then in some situations we renew an MOU multiple years after that. Here we see some of the prior steps that have already taken place in this ratification process. On August 28th and then on the 29th, the instructional and the SRP bargaining teams reached the tentative agreements. Then on September 9th, the United School Employees of Pasco Executive Board, and then in a separate meeting, the Rep Council, both of those entities voted to recommend approval of the tentative agreements. At this point, the actual language and the summaries are both posted on the USEP website. So let's talk about what's in the SRP tentative agreement. First of all, it comes with an average salary increase of 5.4%. Now, where do we get that number of 5.4? Well, there's a 1.25% base hourly rate increase. There's a 2.25% additional increase for those that earned a year of service credit last year. And then on top of that, there's average improvement of 1.9% from the referendum. That referendum amount goes up depending on your years of experience. Health insurance is a big part of the tentative agreement and the negotiation process. I am pleased to tell you that this year will include another year with a free to the employee health insurance option. In order to get there, the district is going to contribute $8,700 per employee toward the cost of health insurance. This is an increase of $449.36 per employee. In order to get to this place, it was necessary to discontinue the wellness incentive program. FRS stands for the Florida Retirement System. And this year there is going to be an increase in the amount that the employer, in this case the district school board, is going to need to contribute on your behalf toward the FRS. It's going to represent an increased contribution of 0.06 cents for each employee. The district and USEP agreed to clean up and update some contract language that was no longer relevant. These small changes can be found in the ratification package. There is a change to the FMLA language. FMLA is the Family Medical Leave Act, And part of this tentative agreement makes it so that the employee may elect to take FMLA unpaid rather than use their own accrued sick leave. This is a choice that the employee impacted by FMLA would be able to make. The SRP tentative agreement does include some additional compensation for some critical shortage areas. The critical shortage items from last year are continued for the 24-25 year. And then there's an additional 40 cents per hour for ESE instructional assistants, $1.75 for transportation vehicle technicians, $1 for vehicle technician assistants, and $1.75 for PE field technicians. The SRP tentative agreement also includes a number of MOUs that are re-signed from previous years. The SRP with bachelor's degree serving as professional guest teachers MOU, the summer food service MOU, the FNS safety apparel MOU, the maintenance department shirt program MOU, and the SRP to teacher program. Each of these had either minor changes like changing the date or no change at all. There's a new position called Relief Transportation Assistant. This new position is similar to the relief bus driver position, and it comes with an additional pay of 50 cents per hour. Okay, so what's in the instructional agreement? Well, first of all, it includes an average salary increase of 5.19%. So where do we get to that number? Well, there's 1.064% for an increase to the minimum teacher salary, the new hire placement schedule, and for those teachers that did not earn a year of service credit in 23-24. There's 1.69% average increase from the increased referendum funding. And then there's, for teachers that did earn a year of service credit in 23-24, there's 1.83% from the teacher salary increase allocation and 1.67% from other additional funding. Again, the bottom line is that for somebody that did earn a year of service credit last year, the average salary increase would be 5.19%. Earlier, we talked about the health insurance, the FRS funding, the FMLA language change, as well as some of the general contract cleanup and updating. Each of those changes that we talked about for the SRP tentative agreement also exist in the instructional agreement. At the secondary level, there are some teachers that provide an additional period of instruction. And in those situations, this tentative agreement includes an increase. It's an increase of $195, which brings that total to $6,695 per year, or $3,347.50 per semester. This has been kind of a progression. A couple of years ago, this additional period paid $5,500. It was later increased to $6,500, and it's now being increased again up to $6,695. Let's talk about the academic and athletic supplement schedule. First of all items on the academic and athletic supplement schedule are going to experience an increase of 3%. On top of that, there are some new positions to be aware of. Girls flag football and the AVID coordinator position have been added to the supplement schedule. Here we see a number of MOUs that are continuing, that are being re-signed with very minor changes, or in some cases only date changes. Dual enrollment, voluntary pre-K, the Grow and Stay MOU, extended school year. Pineview Middle and Gulf Middle have MOUs that are continuing. Adult High School 24/7 MOU, the Marchman Technical College MOU, the additional compensation for teachers covering absent teachers MOU, ESSA, and the Virtual Education Program MOU. We also signed a new duration page for both the SRP and the instructional contracts. What this means is that the end date from the contract was changed from June 30th, 2025 to June 30th, 2027 in order to ensure continuation of the contract. Now on your screen, you can see the recent history of raises in this district going back for the last 3 years, 22, 23, 23, 24, and then this year the proposed raise for 24, 25. And what you can see is the raises for the last 3 years have been over 5% and in fact over 12% in the 23, 24 year. These numbers are the average raises from all funding sources, including the referendum, for those that earned a year of service credit the previous year. So how will we vote this year? Well, voting is going to take place electronically, which is a change from previous years where ratification took place with paper ballots. Employees will receive an email at their district email address. It's important to note that, as always, there will be 2 different elections, one for SRP employees and one for instructional employees. The voting window will run from September 23rd through September 27th. So during that time, people will have the opportunity to vote electronically through that email that I mentioned. Handling it electronically should give everybody an easy opportunity to vote. Okay, so the voting ends for SRP and instructional employees on September 27th. What happens if it passes? Well, it would then go to the school board for them to vote on it. They're scheduled to vote on October 1st at their regular school board meeting. Assuming they approve of it, employees would then see their new base pay starting October 11th. That would include everything that's been negotiated other than the referendum. Additionally, employees would get a retro check on November 1st, as the majority of the negotiated compensation is retroactive back to July 1. Then the referendum money, the increase, kicks in on November 8th. That happens on November 8th in accordance with the timeline with the county in terms of when the referendum dollars are received. So again, this year, people are going to vote electronically through email. You're going to be receiving an email from Election Buddy. And so we wanted to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about what to do if you think you didn't get the email. First of all, you're going to want to make sure you're checking your district email. That's where it's going to go. It's not going to your personal email. It is going to your district email. It should go into your regular inbox, but if for whatever reason on September 23rd you don't see that email, then check any other folders that you might have, like spam folders. If you still don't see the email, maybe you need to determine whether or not you're actually part of the bargaining unit. So are you an SRP or instructional employee? If not, if you're neither one of those, then you're not going to get the email. For example, if you're a plant manager, then you are not in either the SRP or the instructional bargaining unit, so you wouldn't get the email because you're not somebody who's eligible to vote. When in doubt, reach out to your USEP building rep at your work site to see if they can help provide additional information. Or if need be, feel free to call our office. The number is on the screen, 813-996-2119. We absolutely want to make sure that all eligible voters have the opportunity to vote. Thank you again for watching this short video. Hopefully this answered some of the questions that you might have about the ratification process. But if not, certainly feel free to contact your USEP building rep, or again, you can call our office and we're going to be happy to answer your questions to the best of our ability. We appreciate you. Thank you.